Let's now talk business with Oyin Adekunle. So Oyin, I understand there are no plans to devaluate the Naira.
Well, the central bank has actually been allaying fears, so you're very correct, Fidelia. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has denied claims that it is considering the devaluation of the Naira in response to the current global economic challenge. Governor of the Apex Bank, Godwin Emefiele, announced this after meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja today. He says the federal government has launched a probe to unravel persons behind the speculation and ensure that they are brought to book. And there is more in this next report.
The spread of the novel coronavirus COVID-19 has continued to weaken global economy, crashing oil markets. Also affected is the foreign exchange market. Panic buying amid speculations of currency devaluation has sent the Naira crashing, with the local currency now trading between 405 and 420 to the dollar. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has now allayed fears of a foreign exchange drought.
There is no need for anybody to panic that anybody who has any legitimate business will get foreign exchange to conduct his business. So what are we saying? You want to travel, which we don't advise at this time, you will get foreign exchange to travel. You want to conduct business, imports, you get foreign exchange to conduct that import transaction. Whatever you need foreign exchange to do. So for that reason, there's no need for you to want to rush, everybody want to rush to the window, to the door, to buy foreign exchange that you don't even require at this time, thereby leading to the spike in the price of the dollar.
Earlier in the week, oil prices plunged to as low as $30 a barrel, forcing the federal government to review its 2020 budget, which has an oil benchmark of $57 per barrel. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources at this briefing says effort is still ongoing to review the oil benchmark.
This is still a developing situation. We are still following it closely and consulting. Of course, usually the product prices follow the crude oil price, but we are still consulting and we'll get back to you. Please be patient.
While the country continues to address the many impacts of the coronavirus outbreak, funding for infrastructural development remains in full gear.
We prioritize the releases to the critical infrastructure agencies, but we also made the releases for education as well as health. So the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Works and Housing, Niger Delta, a number of ministries and agencies that have important infrastructure projects have got their funds. Also this week we have been able to release to the Ministry of Transport the counterpart funding that is required, provided for in our budget, that is required for the important railway projects that are currently ongoing with financing from the China Exim Bank. So there are funds that have been released this week. So in addition to the 285, there is up to about $220 million that have been released this week for counterpart funding for railway projects.
President Muhammadu Buhari has set up a committee solely focused on the economic impact of the coronavirus. The board will assess the impact of the outbreak on the nation's 2020 budget with a view to provide recommendations to the government. Fidelia Aguncha, TV360, Lagos.